Never in a million years thought I was going to be a police officer.
Thanks for representing us.
In San Francisco, you're dealing with a lot of mental health, narcotic use, and I'm glad I experienced it home personal, because then I take it to real life situations where I just understand it better, especially when kids are in the family home. Growing up, I kind of wish I had somebody to talk to, and I'm just glad I'm there to help people sit down and talk.
When Destinee was 3 months old, I started babysitting Destinee. And Destinee's mom and dad were working, and actually they were doing pretty well for being that they were so young. And then later on, while her siblings, were born, then it got a little too much for both of them. They weren't getting along well, and they both went their separate ways. And I stood with the children. So I pretty much took care of them.
My mom and my dad have always been like in and out of my life. My mom would visit us, I would say like maybe once a month or maybe twice a month, and I would love seeing her. When my mom would leave, I would cry all the time, and I was just jealous of everybody else that had their parents. I would go to school and I would see like other girls with their moms, and they get to do like mom and daughter stuff, and I didn't really get the chance to have that. My dad was really good. I would say in the beginning of my life, he always came to our soccer games, and then he kind of just fell off track, got into narcotics. He was a meth user, and alcohol kind of took his life away. And learning that and experiencing that, it made me stronger.
Her senior year, she seemed to be very happy. She would plan with her friends. They were supposed to get an apartment together and go to college together, and But one of her best friends ended up committing suicide, and that changed the plan. But she was very strong about it. When she did go to college, she comes out of nowhere. She goes, "I'm going to join the law enforcement." And I go, "Office job, right?" She said, "No, Grandma, I want to be out."
The thing that really turned my career path in my whole life was going on one ride along for SFPD, and I went to this like crazy call, and we were looking for a suspect, and that moment was kind of just like, wow, this is kind of cool. Maybe I can do this too.
So, we supported her. We bought her a car so she can get about. She was working part-time. She was doing the cadet. She was going to college.
I just thought about it at first, and I was like, let me just apply and let me see if I can actually pass the test. I failed the first test, the physical test, so I was kind of like, dang, can I actually do this? I told myself, like, let me just try one more time. And then I passed the test the second time, and I was like, oh dang, maybe I could do this.
I didn't like the idea, because she's too small. She's too small,
So behind me is a 6-foot wall. I'm 4'11", so obviously the little height difference. I can barely reach with my arm extended, so you have to jump it, of course, with and without your gear. I hated this wall at first. I would come literally every weekend so I can practice by myself for an hour or two. Yeah, I got a lot of bruises from it, but at least I got over.
She might be small, but she's tough.
Being 4'11", I have a lot of obstacles. The wall's 6 foot, but I mean, there's bigger things out there where, of course, I have to make sure I stand strong, but I'm very tough and I have an attitude, so I'm pretty much 6 foot, or maybe a little bit taller.
When Destinee was growing up, I knew she was gonna do something good in her life. She had a good spirit. She's gonna go big.
Pictures with the office is real big, and she's right there real tiny. But I said, well, she's doing all right. I'm happy for her now. Very proud of her.
Reality doesn't really hit until you see that uniform on her. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing that uniform, These are just normal kids, that I raised. But then once you see them in their uniform, it's like, my God, it's awesome. Your parents' loss, my gain.
Not in a million years would I think I was going to get into the police academy, and now I'm here, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it's the place I'm supposed to be at. I feel it in my heart.